What's up, Met fans? Welcome back. Talkin Mets with Rob. How's everybody doing? Before I get started talking about two trade proposals for our New York Mets with the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Milwaukee Brewers, don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button. If you enjoy all my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos and when I go live, you guys know what to do. Hit on that subscribe button, everybody. Alright, guys, so two trade proposals between the New York Mets and the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Mets and the Milwaukee Brewers. Two trades, two different teams. Which players are involved? We'll get to that in a little bit. But before I get started, tonight is the Capital One Orange Bowl. My Michigan Wolverines going against the Georgia Bulldogs. Go blue, baby. All right, guys. So let's get down to business. The two trade proposals that we're going to talk about right now, and we're going to look into the players, we're going to look into their contracts, and we're going to look at their stats in the 2021 season. So let's get right down to business, guys. The first trade proposal that I propose between the New York Mets and the Milwaukee Brewers. What is the players involved? Blockbuster trade number one. Proposal number one is right here, guys. The New York Mets will give Jeff McNeil, Robert Dominguez, their number 10 prospect, and outfielder Carlos Cortez, their number 13 prospect, for going to the Brewers for Josh Hader and Eric Lauer. This trade right here, I think, is a win-win for both teams, guys. Not only does the Milwaukee Brewers get their second baseman to replace Colton Wong, Jeff McNeil is the guy that can replace Colton Wong as the second baseman for the Milwaukee Brewers and provide that much needed offense that the Brewers were lacking in 2021. Robert Dominguez, number 10 prospect in the Mets system, right-handed pitcher, hard thrower, that will be going to the Brewers. And Carlos Cortez, who is projected to be in the majors in 2022, can be an interesting piece for that outfield in the coming year or two for the Milwaukee Brewers. You know, they do have a Kane that is going up there in age, so Carlos Cortez could be a possibility for the Brewers in the next year or two. When it comes to Josh Hader and Eric Lauer, we're going to start with him because many people might not know about Eric Lauer. Eric Lauer is the fifth starter in the Milwaukee Brewers rotation. And then people are going to say, yeah, but do the Mets really need a back end of the rotation type of starter? Not necessarily. But if you look at Eric Lauer's numbers, we're going to look at it just now. He was very good for a Milwaukee Brewers team that had a lot of dominant pitchers in their rotation. And Eric Lauer didn't get a lot of credit for what he did with the Milwaukee Brewers because there was other two guys in that rotation that were excellent and got all the credit. So when we look at Eric Lauer and his stats in 2021, he had a 7-5 record, a 3.19 ERA, which is excellent for a fifth starter. Pitched in 24 games, 118 and 2/3 innings. He had strikeouts of 117, so he had a little under a strikeout per inning. He had 16 home runs that he gave up, 41 walks, and 96 hits. 96 hits, 94 hits in his 2021 career stats in 2021. That was actually really, really good, guys. And as a fifth starter in the Milwaukee rotation, coming over to the New York Mets, he can easily be paired and thrown into the number 3-4 spot. And if he has a year like he had in 2021, it looks like he found it in 2021. Because if you look at his years prior, in 2020, he had a 13 ERA, had over a 4 ERA in 2018 and 2019. But it seems like he found something in 2021. And the Mets can easily lose somebody that can be a fourth or fifth starter pitching 118 innings. When it comes to Eric Lauer and his contract, he made $2.5 million he will be making in 2022 and arbitration eligible in 23 and 24. And he's 27 years of age. So the Mets can have a number 4 and number 5 starter in Eric Lauer for the next couple of years at a very reasonable amount. But when we come to the big arm in this trade, we're going to look at Josh Hader right over here. Now, we know Josh Hader has been excellent for the Brewers since he came up in 2017. Has been excellent closer for the Brewers. Just been dominant all over the league. No matter who he's faced, has been dominant. This is the guy the Mets can get. It is a lot to give up in McNeil, Dominguez, and Cortez. But to bring Josh Hader in this bullpen, along with Aaron Diaz and Trevor May, is a big-time piece the Mets can bring in. When we look at Josh Hader and his stats, he had a 1.23 ERA in 2021. He had 34 saves, 102 strikeouts in just a little amount of innings, in 58 innings. 58 and 2/3 innings. He had 102 strikeouts, which is a little over 2 strikeouts per inning. For a closer, that is excellent, guys. Nobody's touching him. And you look at years prior, 3.79, 2.62, 2.43, and 2.08 ERA. He got so much better in 2021. Just lights out. Is why the Brewers were so good late in games. This is what the Mets were lacking over the last couple of years and even last year. Even though Diaz was better, May was okay, Loop was excellent, but they needed that other guy to be dominant in the later innings to protect a lot of the leads that the Mets had that they blown late in games. Josh Hader would be an excellent addition to this Mets bullpen, along with Eric Lauer in this rotation, who takes the ball every 5th day, will give you 5 or 6 innings. Now, if he pitched away in 2021, now we're talking. But it's an excellent trade. It's a fair trade for both sides. The Brewers need a second baseman. They got McNeil. They get 2 prospects along with it because you are getting Josh Hader and Eric Lauer with Hader as well. So the trade that I propose for blockbuster number 1 with the Milwaukee Brewers and the New York Mets, the Mets would trade Jeff McNeil, Robert Dominguez, and Carlos Cortez going to the Brewers for Josh Hader and Eric Lauer. That is trade proposal number 1. When it comes to trade proposal number 2, blockbuster number 2, this one is going to be a lot more interesting, guys. And a lot will be coming back with the New York Mets, but a lot will be going to the Arizona Diamondbacks. When it comes to the Arizona Diamondbacks, they will be trading Madison, Bumgarner, and Ketel Marte to the New York Mets for Jeff McNeil, Ronnie Mauricio, the number 3 prospect in the Mets system, and Eric Orza, right-handed pitcher, the 26th ranked prospect in the New York Mets organization. It seems like a lot, guys, but when you really think about it, the Mets would be taking on the contract of Madison Bumgarner. We will look at his contract in a little bit, and getting an excellent piece at second base in Ketel Marte, who is one of the better second basemen in the league, and no doubt can be a big part of this Mets lineup and is very good defensively. When we look at Madison Bumgarner and his stats in 2021, they weren't that good, guys. I'm going to be honest. But what I like is that he is only 31 years old with Madison Bumgarner. He has a lot of miles on that arm. I understand that. But we're not looking for a number 2 here. That's Scherzer. We're looking at a number 3, maybe a number 4 type of pitcher And we know what Madison Bumgarner can do in the playoffs. But when we look at 2021, he was 7-10. Let's not go crazy with the win-loss record. He was with the Diamondbacks. He pitched 146 innings. So even though his ERA wasn't great, he took the ball every fifth day, guys. And that's what the Mets were lacking, honestly. So if you can get Bumgarner at 146 innings and with an ERA around a little under 4 or a little bit above 4, I would take that, no doubt. When we look at his contract, he has a lot of years left, guys. There's no doubt about that. He gets $6 million $23 million in 2022. 2023, $23 million, and 2024, $14 million. He has 3 years left on his contract. It's a lot of money. I understand that. But the potential you can get in the playoffs, the Bumgarner in the playoffs, is very hard to pass up. And I do think it's worth giving Jeff McNeil, Ronnie Mauricio, and Eric Orzer. But the other part of this trade, Ketel Marte, is probably the bigger piece coming to the New York Mets as our second baseman. When we look at Ketel Marte in 2021, his average was pretty good. Was not bad at all, actually. 318 average. Really, really good, guys. Ketel Marte. So you get another 300 hitter in the lineup with Marte. You get a guy who hits 14 home runs. He's not a big power hitter, but he puts the bat in the ball, hitting over 300. He had 14 home runs, 50 RBIs. Not great, but only had 2 stolen bases. He only played in 90 games, so he was injured a little bit. But this guy can stay healthy. He is going to be a 300 hitter. Probably steal about 10 to 15 bases. Can probably hit 25 home runs if he plays in another 30, 40 games. Ketel Marte is the guy that's probably the bigger piece in this trade than Madison Bumgarner. But the potential that you can get in the playoffs with Ketel Marte, guys, is no doubt worth the trade and worth taking on that money in the Bumgarner deal. The trade with Ronnie Mauricio and Jeff McNeil trading those guys is mostly for Ketel Marte. If you want to really think big picture about this blockbuster trade, Jeff McNeil, Ronnie Mauricio, and Eric Orzer for Madison Bumgarner and Ketel Marte. That is trade proposal number 2, blockbuster number 2. I really do like both of these trades, but I can see more of the Brewers trade than I can the Diamondbacks trade. But it is always really nice to see 2 trade proposals that the Mets can get 2 big arms in either one of these trades, in Hader solidifying that bullpen and Bumgarner solidifying that rotation and getting Ketel Marte to put at second base. Both of these trades are, in my opinion, can be an excellent win-win for the New York Mets. What do you think of these trades, guys? Once again, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button. If you enjoy all my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos and when I go live, you guys know what to do. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think of these 2 trades with the Diamondbacks and the Brewers. Do you like both of them? Do you like one? Or do you like none? Let me know in the comments, guys. I really appreciate all the support, guys. And as always, Met fans, let's go Mets.